Are you ever in the mood for porn? I know I am. I should clarify. Gun porn. What's up YouTube, KS Gun Guy. Thanks for joining me today. If you like what you see here, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. There's plenty more content on the way. So you've got a smattering of guns in front of you right now, all basically compact firearms. And I've been exploring over, well, years really, but certainly since I started the channel, the last three and a half months or so, a variety of different compact firearms and trying to really narrow down what I consider some of the best, some of the finest compact size polymer firearms, and I'm getting there for sure. Now there are a couple more on the way. Unfortunately, I don't have a CZP-10C yet. I bet a lot of you don't either. Unfortunately, they're coming. We just have to wait a little bit longer. I'm still hearing kind of mid-late April for that. Hopefully that'll change. But and then of course there's the Canik TP9, TP9 SF Elite, some of those. I'm going to try and wheel in one of those Elites, 1776 or bust. You'll have to forgive me. I got to try it. I got to see if you and some of the other folks out there, your experiences, if I experience the same thing with that. But aside from that, you have a wide variety in front of you right now, and I'll talk a little bit about each of these. But specifically, I'm going to talk about the one right in front of you. That's the Springfield Armory XD Mod 2 4.0, and if you've seen my Mod 2 subcompact video, it's been a pretty popular gun, and I can tell that largely by the amount of views that it's getting on a daily basis, and it's doing really well. And I like that gun quite a bit. It's a good gun, but I wanted to try the compact version because I really enjoy compact firearms. I enjoy them just from the shootability standpoint. They're just a little bit more fun, in my opinion, to take to the range and really put 300 or 400 rounds downrange, whatever it is. And I think they're really good looking, and they serve so many purposes, whether it's a range toy or home defense or concealed carry or even competition use. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Springfield Armory XD Mod 2, and I might compare a little bit of these other firearms here. Not a lot. This isn't going to be a terribly long video because I've really already done this gun. But I do want to talk about some differences and what comes on it. So let's get some stats out of the way here real quick. The overall length on this is 7.3 inches. The height is 5.5 inches. The width on it is going to be 1.2 inches. This is all from Springfield Armory's website. The barrel, of course, is a 4-inch barrel. It weighs 27.5 ounces. The finish is a melanite finish. Now it comes with two 16-round magazines, but right now, and of course this will change over time depending on when you watch this video, but they've got a deal where it's kind of like a mail-in rebate or an online rebate, which is really nice, and you get 4 extra 16-round mags, a holster, and a double mag pouch, which is pretty cool. That's pretty good value for this. I was able to pick this up for $520, and you could probably find it a little bit cheaper if you look around, but considering the extras that'll be shipping here relatively soon, it's really not a bad deal. And compared to the subcompact, this really isn't a lot bigger. Subcompact is 26 ounces versus the 27.5 ounces on this one right here, and the length on the subcompact is 6.25 inches, and the height is 4.75 inches. So you're not gaining a whole lot by shrinking it down a little bit. You gain some, and from a carry standpoint that can mean a lot to you, but by and large there isn't a big difference between the two, and the features on the gun are all the same. You get your standard options. You do get an ambidextrous mag release. You do get your grip zone, very ergonomic grip on the gun. I really like the ergonomics on this. I'd say it's one of the best Maybe not quite a PPQ or a VP9, but it's pretty darn close. Really, I think all of the guns in front of you have pretty good ergonomics. Now the Glock's a little different, and you may hate me for saying this, but I don't think the Glock ergonomics are quite as good. I've been shooting them a long time, so I'm used to them, and you may be as well. But there are some other guns that I think have focused a little bit more on that. It does have your standard takedown lever and your 4 basic parts for your basic field stripping. So I'm not going to take this one down. Now it does come with steel sights, and the back is a Novak style rear sight. Now it does have just a tiny bit of a ledge if you want to do one-handed manipulations. Not much, but a little bit. And it is a white dot setup, and the front sight, hopefully you can see that, I think I just bumped the camera, is a front red fiber optic, and of course you could change that out for green if you wanted to. But I like that it comes with steel sights, and I actually like the fiber optic. Now if you were going to carry or maybe home defense, you might look into night sights for this, but certainly for a range plinker or even competition use, I really like the sight lineup. I could probably do without the white dots on the back, and it would be just fine, but this still works. It also does come with a rail for your accessories, your lights, lasers, grenade launchers, things like that. So it's the same basic setup that you can expect from Springfield Armory, which is really nice. Once again, I really like the fit and finish and the ergonomics of this. And another thing about Springfield Armory, and I said as much on this in the subcompact review, and I don't know how well you can see the feed ramp in here. I don't know if taking the magazine out might help a little bit. But they do a really good job of buffing the feed ramp, and it's a nice attention to detail. So it's a really fun shooter and another really good option for your compact size guns. Actually, I'll throw the magazine back in here. I'll talk just a little bit about some of these. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. They've all been safety checked off camera, but just for the sake of argument, this is going to be the P320 Compact. It's another one of my favorite guns. I put a bunch of rounds downrange this weekend with it. Now, one thing with the Apex trigger, I did start to notice I was getting a little bit of a blister on the bottom of my finger, but small price to pay for having a good time at the range. So when we look at these two guys together, the P320 is going to be just a little bit smaller, pretty much all around. The height is almost the same, but the barrel length is just a little bit smaller. In terms of weight, they are very, very close. So if you're looking at some of these different options, being able to pick them up at a store, a gun store, and seeing which one fits better in the hand, and hopefully being able to rent them and see which one shoots better for you is always a good idea. PPQ, this is one of my very favorite firearms. I absolutely love it. If you've seen my review on this, this was one of those guns that I really didn't think I'd like, but it's turned out to be one of my very favorites. So when we stack these two together, trying to get them kind of butt to butt, so to speak, they are almost identical in length, almost exactly identical in length, and grip length as well, and weight they're going to be very close also. So when you're looking at these options, it really does come down to feel, might come down a little bit to price for you, and then shootability as well. Now the VP9 is a little bit of an odd duck, and you can make an argument that the VP9 is a little bit more of a full-size gun, but I still consider it pretty much a compact firearm. I know a lot of people carry the VP9. Now in terms of length, the VP9 does have it by maybe 1/4 of an inch, just a little bit more than that, but the grip is the same length. And the weight is almost the same length. VP9 might be just a tiny bit heavier, but once again, you get pretty phenomenal ergonomics on the VP9. And then the Glock. Now this is the Glock 19 MOS. I don't have a standard Glock here anymore, so you'll have to bear with the extra toys on this and check out my video on the MOS so you can see how I built this gun. But from a length standpoint, if you line them up end to end, they're identical. They really are. Now the Glock does, it is just a tiny bit shorter. Sorry, it keeps kind of slipping. The Glock, if we're looking at the magazines here, the Glock is maybe a 1/2 inch shorter. I'm trying to keep these solid for you. But they're pretty close. They really are. Glocks are always known as being just a little bit more petite, and also a little bit a little bit less wide, a little bit narrower. So that could be a consideration for you as well. But again, a wide variety to choose from, and there are others as well, and of course others on the way. A couple more features with this. One that is certainly a standout for the Springfields, and it's the same with a lot of the Springfield polymer guns. It does have a grip safety on it, and none of the others do here. Most of them have some sort of trigger safety, with the exception of the 6 Hour. But this is a little bit unique and different, and I know a lot of people criticize Springfield Armory for having the grip safety. I really don't. It doesn't bother me. You know, if you're picking up the gun and you've got a shooting grip on it, it's going to work. You're going to deactivate the safety, so that shouldn't be an issue. The other thing you do have is a loaded indicator on the back of it. Again, unloaded. I'm going to take the magazine out here. So when you shoot the gun, there's that grip safety. Yeah, you'll ding me for that. So the loaded indicator or striker indicator does go away. So then it's ready to shoot again, and once again when you shoot it does go away. So some could consider that a really nice feature because you can tell or not if the striker is engaged. It protrudes a little bit, so it's tactile, but not so much to where I think it would get damaged in any way. So that's kind of nice. From a trigger standpoint, one thing about Springfield Armory is there is a fair amount of travel, although I will say it's extremely smooth with that travel. But once you get past the travel, and I'd say it's probably maybe 3 or 4/10 of an inch or so, you get to a nice defined wall, and you get a really nice break. I like the break on it. It's soft, and it's very tactile. And then we've got our reset, and it's a really nice reset as well. Now it does swing out a little ways, and there's a little bit of uptake. I'm going to do this again so you can see the uptake once you get... Okay, there's your break, and there is just a little bit of travel coming back to the wall there. Not a lot, but when we talk about triggers, I mean, I would still say the edge certainly goes to the PPQ as far as these go. Now, this has an Overwatch precision in the Glock, so I can't really count it, and that's about a 3.5 pound trigger. This is weighing in on my Lyman trigger gauge at 5.5 pounds, pretty consistently. So it's a very smooth, nice trigger. I like it. It makes it very easy to shoot. Now, your follow-up shots, again, if you're getting used to it and you're getting used to that little bit of travel from the reset back to the break or the wall, once you get used to that, it's just fine. But all in all, I think it's a really good package, and it's a good value as well for this setup, especially if you get the extra magazines and the holster and the mag pouch and that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and take a look at a little bit of footage at the range and see how this shoots. All right, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that footage at the range. Again, there's quite a variety of firearms out there in the polymer world, especially from a compact standpoint. And a lot of it just comes down to personal choice and what feels better, what shoots better for you. Price may be a consideration, that sort of thing. Although all of these are around the same price. I think the VP9 is going to be the most expensive if you're not looking at an MOS with all the bells and whistles, but just a standard Glock, maybe a Gen 4. So that might be a little bit of a consideration, but and all of these guns I think are quality in terms of fit and finish and features. Again, I always ding Glock a little bit for those polymer sights, but aside from that, Glocks, you can pull them out of the box and shoot them all day long, which is great, and they're uber reliable. So not a knock on that by any means. But again, a wide variety to choose from, and that's good. It means we're living in good times for sure. So I'd love to hear what you think about the XD Mod 2 4-inch or any of the others in the lineup, and also what you think about some of these other guns and your experiences trying to decide, or maybe have been decided if you've already made a decision on one of these, which one you went with, and what were your deciding moments to do so. So be sure to leave a comment, and once again, thanks for joining me. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and I will talk to you next time.